Hi there, question 7. Linda grows and sells potatoes. I assume she sells lots of potatoes, otherwise, why hasn't she diversified into other root vegetables? The mean mass of her potatoes in last year's crop was 193 grams. She sees this advert for a new fertiliser for potatoes. Potato fertiliser. Increase the average mass of your crop by at least 15%. That was supposed to be Suffolk. Turns out it was a bit West Country, sorry. Linda uses the fertiliser on her next crop of potatoes. The table shows the masses of these 130 potatoes when she picks them. Yeah, not a lot of potatoes. You'd expect her to be harvesting a lot more than that. Anyway, we need to increase our average by 15%. So to know what that benchmark is, we have to multiply 193 by 1.15. That gives us 221.46. Right, let me just double check everything there. Yeah, good. So that's the benchmark. That's what we need to be at. Now, this is effectively an averages from or a mean from a frequency table question. You can revise these. Corbett Maths have a brilliant resource on this with lots of practice. But we're going to find the midpoint of these groups because the groups on the left-hand side don't actually know the values of them. So these 12 potatoes, we can't say whether they were all 120, whether they were all 155, whether there was a variety. So we just make an assumption that we take the midpoint. So 140, 180, 220, 260, and 300. You must always be very, very careful as well because you can't guarantee that those groups are going to be the same distance apart. So always check your midpoints. Okay, so we're going to multiply through and get these values. So 1680, 4140, 9900, 8320, and then 5400. We then add those all together, 29440, and that's divided by the 130 potatoes because this column in here will sum to 130. Sum means add up. For those of you not sure what I'm going on about with the word sum. Okay, therefore that answer is 226.46. Now let's compare that to the benchmark. It's greater than that benchmark, which means yes, the claim is justified. Yes, it is justified. Super. So that's some good advertising for that company, and I hope they've been on to what is the equivalent for when you use a product? It's not TripAdvisor or anything like that. I'm sure they've given them a shout out though on their social media for those meager potatoes. Dan also grows and sells potatoes, hopefully not in the same area, otherwise there'll be quite a big competition for customers there. The histogram shows the distribution of the masses of his potatoes this year. The potatoes are classed as small, medium, or large. Medium potatoes have a mass of 188 to 260. Estimate the number of potatoes that are classified as medium. Okay, so nothing to do with this lot here. And then we've got to 118. So that's that second one in there. Look. But it doesn't matter because I've got a group that's 188 to 20. Sorry, 188 to 200. So that's a difference of 12. This next group, that is 20. And then the next group is a difference of 40. Then need to work out the frequency density for each of those groups because the frequency is the width or the class width. Let me write that down. Class width multiplied by the frequency density. And that gives us our frequency. So this one has a height going up to 1.25. We've got 1.7, and the last one's a bit easier, 0.8. Okay, we then multiply those values. Look at that, we're getting some whole numbers out here. 15, 34, 32, and then when we sum them together, we've got 81, and that's 81 potatoes. Thanks for joining me for question 7. I will see you at question 8.